Jesse Minter is not an easy man to impress, but Jacoby Lane just did exactly that. In Baltimore's preseason opener against the Eagles, the rookie wide receiver didn't just show up, he opened the scoring, and afterward his own head coach couldn't stop talking about him. When your head coach starts praising your personality and your work ethic in the same breath after your very first NFL action, that's the kind of thing we need to pay attention to. So what exactly did Minter say about this kid? And does it mean Lane is already carving out a real role in this offense? Because a good preseason debut is one thing, but the way Minter talked about him sounded like something bigger than just a good stat line from one game. Baltimore beat Philadelphia 24-7 at M&T Bank Stadium. And honestly, the Ravens never even let the Eagles feel like they had a chance. They never trailed at any point in that game, and a lot of that early control came from the rookies stepping up right away. That's not something we see in every preseason opener. The young guys making that kind of immediate impact. Jacoby Lane was right in the middle of it from a very first score. He caught a 16-yard touchdown pass from undrafted rookie quarterback Joe Fagnano, and that connection alone tells you something about the chemistry this rookie class is already building. Two guys with almost nothing guaranteed on this roster, combining for the first points of the game. That's the kind of duo worth keeping an eye on all camp long. Lane finished the night with 3 catches for 38 yards before the coaching staff pulled him for the second half, which is standard preseason management. But it also means he made every one of those touches count. 3 catches doesn't sound like a huge number on paper, but when one of them is a touchdown that opens the scoring, the efficiency speaks louder than the volume. Now here's the thing. A good box score is nice, but it was a specific way that touchdown happened that grabbed everyone's attention, including his own coaches. The way Lane got into the end zone says a lot about what kind of receiver Baltimore might be developing here. He ran an inside cut against Eagles cornerback Kelee Ringo, and he created just enough separation for Fagnano to put the ball on him. That's route running. That's not just size and speed carrying him. But what happened after the catch is where things got physical. Lane caught the ball near the 4-yard line, and instead of trying to dance around defenders, he lowered his head and drove straight through Ringo and safety Michael Carter to get into the end zone. 2 defenders, and he ran through both of them for the score. That's not something you typically see from a rookie receiver in his first real NFL action. A lot of young guys in that spot try to make a move, try to be cute with it, and end up getting pushed out short of the goal line. Lane just put his head down and finished the play like he'd done it 100 times before. That combination, the route to create space plus the physicality to finish through contact, is exactly what makes a receiver dangerous at every level, not just on one highlight play. It's one thing to flash that in a single moment. It's another thing entirely for your head coach to notice it and start talking about it publicly, which brings us to what Minter actually said. Minter didn't hold back when he was asked about Lane after the game. He said, and I'm going to give you this pretty much as he said it, that he likes Lane's demeanor and that the kid doesn't lack confidence. But he was quick to add that Lane is also pretty humble and that he works really hard. That's a specific combination, confident but humble, and coaches don't usually pair those 2 words together unless they mean it. Minter went further too. He said Lane knows when to be serious and when he can just be himself, which the coach described as a little more out there sometimes. I love that detail, because it tells you Minter isn't just praising the football, he's talking about the person too. A rookie who can read the room, who knows when it's time to lock in and when it's fine to have some personality. That's a maturity thing, not just a talent thing. Then Minter said the part that really stuck with me. He said he loves Lane's personality, that he wants him to shine, and that Lane should just keep doing what got him here. Think about that for a second. This is a head coach telling a rookie in public, don't change a thing. That's not something coaches say lightly, especially not about a 3rd-round pick who's only played 1 preseason game. Minter closed it out by saying it's been working and that he's really happy with how Lane has done so far. When your head coach is using words like that this early in camp, that's a signal worth watching. But context matters here too, because this praise didn't come out of nowhere. This performance wasn't some one-off flash for Lane. He was selected out of Southern California in the 3rd round of the 2026 draft, and by all accounts, he's been making plays consistently since rookie camp started, all the way through training camp. So the touchdown against the Eagles wasn't a surprise breakout. It was more like a continuation of a trend that's already been building for weeks. He also wasn't the only rookie who showed up in this game. Fagnano, the undrafted rookie quarterback, throwing him that touchdown, finished the night 22 of 28 for 223 yards. That's a really efficient outing for a guy with zero draft pedigree, and it tells you Baltimore might have found something under center in the preseason too, not just at receiver. The rookie receiving corps as a whole had a big night. Fourth-round picks Matt Hibner and Elijah Sarrett combined for 11 catches and 127 yards between the two of them. So this wasn't just Lane carrying the group by himself. This was a genuine group effort from a young receiving room that a lot of us weren't sure would be ready to contribute this early. It's also worth remembering who wasn't even on the field for this one. Lamar Jackson didn't play, along with other Baltimore starters, and it was Tyler Huntley who opened the game at quarterback, going 6 of 7 for 76 yards. So a lot of this production came from backups and rookies with something to prove, which makes it even more interesting when we think about what comes next. Here's where this gets real for Baltimore's roster picture. Third-round rookies don't always get this kind of praise from a head coach after one preseason game. And when they do, it usually means the coaching staff is already thinking about a real role for that player once the regular season starts. Minter didn't have to say any of that. He chose to. I think the humility part of what Minter said matters just as much as the talent part. We've all seen young players get a little bit hype and let it change how they carry themselves. Lane hasn't done that, at least not according to his own coach, and that consistency between camp practices and an actual game says this wasn't a fluke performance time for the cameras. There's also a bigger picture worth mentioning here. Lane has made it clear himself that he doesn't intend to let the growing attention around him change anything about how he approaches this. That's a mature stance for a rookie who just scored a touchdown in his preseason debut and got publicly praised by his head coach the same week. A lot of guys in that spot start believing their own hype. He's saying the opposite, so put it all together. A physical, well-run touchdown. A head coach going out of his way to praise both the game and the person. A receiving room around him that's also producing early. Baltimore might be building something real here at receiver. And Lane looks like he could be right in the middle of it heading into the rest of camp. Let's step back and look at what we actually know here. Jacoby Lane scored Baltimore's first points of the preseason on a physical, well-executed touchdown. He backed it up with a productive 3-catch night. And his own head coach came out afterward and praised both his game and his character in a way that goes well beyond the usual coach speak. What this means for the Ravens is worth sitting with for a second. A third-round rookie earning this kind of public confidence from Jesse Minter this early, with the rest of the rookie receiving group also stepping up around him, suggests Baltimore might have found more depth and more talent at that position than a lot of us expected heading into camp. That's a real development, not just a preseason storyline that fades away in a week. I want to know what you think about this one. Do you believe Jacoby Lane is going to carve out a real role in this offense once the regular season starts? Or is it still too early to get excited off one preseason game? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear where you stand on this.
And if you're a true Ravens fan and love keeping up with everything happening around the team, don't leave this video without sharing it with a friend who's just as passionate. They're definitely going to enjoy this. See those videos on your screen right now? I picked the first one especially for you, and the other is recommended by YouTube. Go check them out, and I'll see you in the next video.